Oh boy, is it gonna be it? They have the opportunity. I mean, it's, as you said, kind of busted right now. There we go, CuVee with the hover.
And so Camille is on the map. And now we're gonna have to see how Longzhu is prepared to handle this.
Gonna be picked up here, so no victor this time for Crown, even though it is up and available.
Oh,
what?
Jax is being highlighted. And that would be a very, very difficult 1-3-1.
Oh, there you go. Jax coming on in. Here we are for match number 2, game number 2. Longzhu currently with the 1-0 lead over Samsung.
And Samsung Galaxy looking for some early aggression, and they might get it. Oh no, Prey.
Ooh. Arnie Flash is going to be blown. Do they actually want to commit to it? There's the Camille, and Prey is like, nope. I got to get out of here, even from level 1, man.
Yeah, and that's a nice little advantage actually picked up by Samsung Galaxy, and also nice to mix things up. It does come at the cost of Longzhu getting intel on Samsung Galaxy's jungle. Now, the question is going to be is how supportive is Haru going to be? Because, as I mentioned before, his KDAs are extremely lackluster. 3-15 in competitive matches, almost always having a 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 KDA score with extremely low damage output. So is he going to go full utility support jungler and get a green smite, can crown the blue buff early on? Or is he actually going to try to go toe-to-toe with Crash?
Well, Ambition had trouble with it earlier on. We were talking about the Rengar pick definitely being part of that. But Crash, a very solid jungle, as we have seen so far. Just setting up to hand over that red buff to Crash. Help out with that. Look at the pokes so far from this MF Varus composition. Varus definitely one of the stronger ADs in the game currently. And with the MF, definitely a very strong bot lane here for Longzhu.
CuVee heading up to the top lane. And I would think that Jax has the edge in this matchup, but I'll be honest that I'm not completely sure. It's not every day that you get to see this champion let through in solo queue on Korea. So my experience with Camille is a little bit limited.
Yeah. Why don't you give us, you were actually talking to me about this yesterday, why don't you give us a little bit of a rundown of why exactly is Camille so unbelievably strong right now in the current meta?
Well, Camille has basically everything. She has a gap close, she has a retreat, she has an invulnerability on her ultimate, she has a stun, she has true damage, auto attack reset, she has HP sustain, she has poke. I mean, what doesn't she have? She's like a super Walmart.
She's got everything, man. It's unbelievable. You can even see Jax is trying to trade with her in the beginning of this game, and still Camille is doing well. Look at this.
So it begins. Oh, Haru.
Haru, welcome to the LCK. Yep. There's tons of damage coming down here, and he's just going to be totally forced out of this, and that's very unfortunate. You could see Gorilla's even joining up with the Leafs now to help secure that.
So I'll talk a little bit about what's happening. Fly is shoving in mid lane right now, so he knows, well, Crash knows that if anything dangerous does end up occurring, Fly can actually back him up. And because he has that teleport, it wouldn't compromise him as much as it would Crown. The other thing is that he accurately read that Haru would go for a full clear, primarily because of who his laners are.
Oh, look at this. Fly is being flanked right now. The flash over the wall, and here comes Crash, and Crown going in with the flash. He does take down the first blood onto Echo, onto Fly, and here's Crash on the run. A couple more hits will do it. Just barely not enough, and Crash will get out. 1-0 right now for Samsung.
Really good bounce back by Haru there to get Crown that kill. First blood kill nonetheless. Fly just going to teleport back to the lane. And now he's going to be able to shove a lane, or a wave into Crown's turret. So Crown will lose a little bit on gold, but he's still going to have a gold advantage. Teleport for teleport up in top lane. Expression knows that he can do this teleport because he knows that Haru has no left side jungle.
Yeah, cool little idea right there. This top lane is just going to resume where it was left at.
Oh, and actually, Expression has the lead in the lane. And that's primarily because of the spellcaster minions. Because of the angle of approach that CuVee's minions took and the melee minions moving up, so many spellcasters remain in the back there, and you can see that it's a push into Expression, thus granting him the lead.
Yeah, definitely so. So we're seeing this Jax as perhaps a counter pick to this Camille. We don't get to see it too often. Maybe these players are beginning to learn exactly how to handle this champion. So far, it's been doing quite well.
And you can just see basically the CS in mid is almost negating that first blood, as Crown does not have that big of a gold advantage, but he already did get to the lost chapter, and that's the most important part.
That gives him that amount of sustain in the lane, and here we go. The Sun trying to come on in. Here comes Elise too, trying to get the kill onto Crown. Even the slow from Gorilla has a follow-up, and just barely not enough there from that extra move from Elise. Now a bit of a knock-up. Haru trying to bait them in. No root from Core JJ, just barely does miss. Could have done a bit more damage to Crash, perhaps, but not able to secure a kill either way.
And it seems like Expression is actually doing quite well against Camille. And so it seems that the Jax pick was intended. And so again, just from the beginning of the draft, Longzhu knows what they're doing. And right there, I gotta say, I'm a little bit unimpressed. Crash didn't smite the minion to let the Cocoon go through it. So disappointed, Brendan.
Yep. Well, it's hard to impress LS, that's for sure. We'll have to see if he can do that a little bit later on. And just a little bit of trading we had there between Zyra and Elise. Elise actually eating so much damage, Zyra. Quite annoying to deal with. CuVee, he's beginning to try to push a bit of damage onto that. Haru sneaks up into the top lane.
Now, Expression, even though he can't see Haru, he should have an idea that he's here. But maybe he doesn't.
Maybe he has no idea. And here we go. Ultimate is down. He's going to be locked on in. Expression is forced to fight. He tries to jump away in the flash, but the flash follow-up from CuVee, and just barely Expression survives. Oh, and it just barely is not enough to kill him there. Not able to dodge it either, but just enough health. And as we always say, use that sustain as early as you can in a fight to make sure you can survive stuff like that.
Right, and it's a successful gank nonetheless. That was a gigantic minion wave that Expression is losing out on. Even though CuVee and Haru share a little bit of XP, it's still not that gigantic, considering that CuVee continues to get a gold lead. And the reason that I thought that Expression could have an idea that Haru would be there was because of the information that Crash should be able to convey to him about Haru's right side jungle.
But just not enough. Ooh, the lockdown onto Crown here, gonna eat a bit of damage. Nice trading here from Fly so far. You ban out his Talia, he can still do quite well on this Echo.
Definitely very adept at control and very special mages in the mid lane. Doesn't seem to conform to the traditional Cassiopeia, Ryze, Orianna, Syndra. At least not so far.
Yeah, perhaps later on in the season. See some pings going down onto Haru. He has been spotted by a deep ward in the jungle of Samsung. Oh, and Crown running straight into a Cocoon. So unfortunate. He is going to use Command Shockwave, but it may just not be enough. One more Q. The red buff is slowing him and ticking down, but just barely not enough, and Crown survives.
Oh, it is a series of unfortunate events for Longzhu tonight. And Crown able to live there, and that's really big. He's going to be able to recall and come back to the lane. Right now, though, in bottom lane, Prey and Gorilla applying a ton of pressure. And Haru, he is going to come over to get his red buff after his recall, but by then, it's probably going to be too late, but hold that as Ruler.
Oh, curtain call, but all you got to do is line it up. Make sure it doesn't hit Prey. At this point, Gorilla eating a ton of damage even from the minions, but is going to survive.
Gorilla showing Core JJ how to do it. Line up.
That's all you got to do. CuVee, oh, stamina just a bit, but happy to take the trade regardless.
Right now, Crash on the right-hand side of the map. And the Moby Boots not really working out so far. Haru has been able to constantly just keep farming. He's considerably ahead in the CS score. And now Crash is recalling. Haru is on the bottom half of the map. I wonder if he'll try any tricky stuff like sneaking into one of the bottom lane brushes and looking to make a play against Prey and Gorilla. And Prey and Gorilla might not expect it because they know that Ruler has no mana and he's off cooldown for his curtain call.
It's definitely potential. It looks like he is just going to recall for now, though. And some trading in the mid lane. You can see that Fly still has a pretty considerable lead when it does come to CS. 80 to 65 right now, up 15.
And And the purchase right now, actually, from Haru does indicate that he's looking to go aggressive soon. He just got the Mercury treads on the boots, and I was actually about to mention that it was really fantastic by him to recognize what his lanes were intended to do and how he didn't go any boots and just opted into timeout to continuously get ahead of Crash in gold and in farm and XP. But then the Mercury treads indicate that he's probably looking to go aggressive soon, so we might see some fireworks actually happen in mid or top lane, given that CuVee also just came off of a recall.
See if he wants to go for that. We do have the bot lane well boarded up here for Longzhu. They should be able to see Haru coming in if he decides to go for it. Having pretty deep wards actually in both of these lanes towards bot, so they see him coming in, and he's trying to get aggressive, but nice vision control so far there in the bot lane. Here comes Crash joining up with Echo. Maybe they want to punish this. They're getting close to where Haru is coming in.
I only saw one tremor just now, so Haru might just think that it's only one person, but it's actually multiple. Crash comes in and gets a ward. And he is still behind of Haru, so far, Crash not able to really do a lot, and he's pretty behind right now.
It's kind of annoying, you know, especially on that Elise. You want to set up kills. They were so close to getting Crown in the mid lane that one time. Now Fly just trying to get out of here as Haru really trying to find some sort of presence out on the map.
You can see that Fly almost has the Proto Belt, and I wouldn't be surprised to see something happen like Fly recalls into Proto Belt with boots, Expression recalls at the same time, and then they try to do a 5-man bot lane, or something to that nature. Unfortunately though, Water Drake is the first Drake, and we're already almost into the mid stages of the game, so it's not that worthwhile of an investment as, say, a Mountain Dragon or an Infernal Drake.
For sure, and just pushing in the lane right now is Samsung. You do see Haru towards the bottom side. Oh, they're going to go for the ultimate combo onto Ruler. He does go down, and just a nice set of ultimates to combo into that one kill.
Yep. And you can see that Fly was in fact recalled. He bought the Proto Belt and the boot. So if CuVee tried to teleport down, you can know instantly it would be met by Fly and Expression.
Just getting another look at the trading up top once again. Camille, man, she does a lot of damage. Expression, though, is not being scared out of this lane. Just going to push it in once again.
Expression going to find a control ward. Be able to pick that up. He is a little bit behind in CS right now, about 17. But that's okay because Fly is up in the mid lane, so that will negate it. Now, take a look at this gank in bottom. And that was just set up really well by Gorilla and Prey. Not able to get the kill onto Core JJ. Yeah. But had teleports actually came out from CuVee and such, if Expression and Fly teleport down as well, that'll actually turn into the destruction of 2 towers in bottom.
Definitely could have. Oh, the shockwave coming on in, and here comes Haru for the follow-up. Fly, though, is going aggressive onto Crown after that. It looks like he wanted to get in there and potentially do that, but he's taking a lot of damage. Here comes Core JJ. Proto Belt and a flash. He's going to try to help him get out, and it looks like just barely he will.
Yep. Manages to live there. That could have gotten a lot worse for Longzhu. Unfortunate for Samsung. But nonetheless, Crown's going to be able to pick up a lot of farm. Fly might even be forced to use his teleport here. Instead, it looks like he's walking back to the... Oh, I don't know what he's doing. He's dancing at the fountain. All right, he is walking back to the lane, and so is Expression. And for the double teleport, they're not really using it that much. But again, as I mentioned before in the pick and ban phase, Longzhu's team composition really begins to kick off around the 25-30 minute mark. And that's when Samsung Galaxy doesn't have a proper response to it.
Yeah, so Longzhu just happy to sit back for now, not really go for any big aggressive plays and farm. You can see even in the bot lane already 33 CS ahead. Of course, a wave is pushing into Ruler, but still the big advantage down the bot lane going towards Longzhu for now. And I suppose they're trading that for the advantage that Camille is getting over Jax in the top lane.
And now Crown with the blue buff going to be able to push endlessly Dury farm if he wants. Never mind, Haru ends up picking up the Wraith camp, Raptor camp. Gets spotted out by a ward. Now they know exactly where he's going, but I mean, Haru's already 30 CS up over Crash. And we might see a fight over the red buff.
They know he's in here. The smite is actually going to go over to Elise. Saw him coming in, but still not able to secure that.
Yeah, and that caught Crash up on levels. So now Haru actually beginning to get punished, at least in XP. Oh, hold on.
Oh, there we go. Fly Eating got a ton of damage. Still has his ultimate up. There he is, but not going to gain back so much health. Crown on the run now. Crash really trying to get that last kill, but it's not going to happen. Haru with the double kill.
And the dangerous game went off for Crown to level him up on HP, even if the burn was going to keep applying. And this is really bad right now for Longzhu. This is probably going to be a first blood turret going over to Crown and Haru. CoreJJ here as well. I don't know if Prey and Gorilla are going to be able to stop this.
They're going to attempt to.
Yeah, they're attempting to.
Poke out of Prey is kind of scary right now for Crown. Has to be careful not to get hit by that. Haru taking the majority of that damage, so they will, in fact, get that first blood turret.
Yep, they get the first blood turret indeed. And now they're in the driver's seat this game. CoreJJ having a flash right there.
Nice force out there. Here comes Fly with the teleport. Looks like they're going to do something, but I suppose from here they can secure an Ocean Drake, but no other members of Samsung are going to be caught out.
Not quite sure that's worth the teleport from Fly. They easily could have secured it without him. As you can see, he's running up to mid. So maybe he was anticipating CoreJJ to go down into the left, in which maybe he could catch him out, but even still, that's a little bit questionable. So the replay here, you can see that they weren't anticipating Haru to be here probably, and unfortunately they couldn't bring down Crown, and Haru able to finalize the kill onto Crash, and then immediately push and cap the mid-tier 1 turret.
Yeah, just Crash not able to get out of there. Already going too deep and eating too much damage. So now we're getting another look up in this top lane, and even though Expression was dealing pretty well with the Camille up in top on that Jax, it's kind of snowballing out of control as now he's down 40 CS. And they've kind of just been chilling up top by themselves the entire game.
Well, they know where Haru is. You see Fly moving through the jungle right now. And I'm actually surprised that Crash didn't commit more attention up to top lane, because I assumed that is a very snowbally lane in Jax's favor if he could get a lead.
Yeah, but as we were saying before, just kind of leaving the two of them up there alone the entire game. And here we go, trying to make a move down into bot lane now. And Longzhu does know about this. Let's see how they're going to deal with it. Kind of confidently sitting near their turret. They do have Fly and Crash sitting nearby. Here comes Haru. Are they actually going to do it, or just try to push them away from the turret and get the turret? Looks like that's what they'll do for now.
You notice that CuVee actually moved into the river.
Oh, and there you go. Huge amount of ults coming down onto Crown, and they do, in fact, not get the turret either. Really nice ult from Varus to set that all up.
And denying that turret attempt is really big right now for Longzhu, because now they're able to go mid and draw Haru mid. And that'll take pressure off of bot lane and top lane, although it looks like CuVee is going to get the turret anyway. It's just a matter of time. And the reason that I was mentioning CuVee just a second ago was because he moved into the river intentionally to know that the enemies can't spot him. So if he's teleporting, it's probably going to be reacted to much slower.
Well, Haru just kind of holding down the fort here as Crown did get taken out in that last fight. Getting that farm in the mid lane. Echo has now caught up in CS. Saw that top turret going down, especially even having to run away, jump away after the turret did go down. Not confident to fight that fight just yet.
Yep. Jax down about 40 CS. Trinity Force completed for CuVee. That is gonna be quite difficult to deal with. They still have the split push mechanics, and that's gonna be something that is more so a test for Longzhu to coordinate a split push against Samsung Galaxy. Last game, they secured a lot of advantages and they just destroyed Samsung Galaxy, but it wasn't via a true split push.
Oh boy, and look at this amount of damage. The ult is gonna lock him in. Can CuVee set it up, the flash forward, and the flash again. I don't really know why he flashed there. He was gonna get jumped on by CuVee anyway, and down he does go.
Yep, and with Expression dying right now, this is really problematic because CuVee is just going to shove that lane into top tier 2 and deal a ton of damage to it with that timeout and the Trinity Force. Getting all those Trinity Force procs certainly helps destroy that turret quicker, and Expression might even be forced to devote a teleport to defending it.
Let's see how they want to handle this here. You can see Fly still in the mid lane. We're going to get another replay down.
So we can just see this replay really quick, and you can probably think that Expression wasn't expecting CuVee to be here maybe, but nonetheless, CuVee shows up, ulted with Camille, and as you were mentioning, I don't know why he flashed there because it's obvious that he'll die anyway.
Yeah. Look at this. At the same time on the other side, Crash is forced to jump on in. The curtain call does barely miss Gorilla on that final shot, so it looks like they cannot secure another kill. Not sure how that fight exactly started, but Samsung securing another kill.
And there's the destruction of the top tier 2 turret.
You can see the moans from you can hear the moans rather of the Korean cast as you kind of see that sad Jax all alone up top, losing both of his turrets in the lane, struggling to just get by.
Fly is standing still so that the tremor sense from Haru doesn't detect him. And nonetheless, he's going to be spotted out by a ward anyway. And the real question comes in, can they shut down Prey and Gorilla the longer that this game goes on?
Yeah, well, can they shut down CuVee on the other side of things? Fly is struggling to even have a one-on-one fight here as CuVee on that Camille is just getting out of control now.
That's balanced. That's a good champion. All right, so Samsung Galaxy said, all right, you showed us Rengar, let us show you Camille. So we're just getting all the broken champions out of the way today in this series.
They're just, you know, putting on a show for the fans, perhaps, saying, hey, you guys don't get to see this too often on streams. Let's give you a shot. Here comes Rengar, here comes Camille. And Expression seems pretty confident to go in onto this one. CuVee is sticking around, though, can't exactly get away. It's so close down to the wire, and Jax does win the trade at the end.
I don't even know how that just happened. He was down in levels, down in items, and he still managed to win. So I guess that sort of does answer the question of, can Jax contend with Camille? And that's a really big shutdown because it also rewards them with the turret up in top. However, Samsung Galaxy, in the meantime, were able to secure an Inferno Drake, which is gigantic for Rek'Sai, Camille, and Jhin, given that they're all physical damage champs.
Yeah, so trading a bunch of gold over to Longzhu in a trade for that very important Drake. And you could see that Crash even joined up with Expression up in the top lane, able to eat all of the left side turret and push that into the turret as well. Or rather, jungle, not turret.
Now Expression recalling. Samsung Galaxy still ahead by just under 5,000 gold. Now moving towards the mid lane, and again, the question becomes, can they get the Baron against praised Varus? Because Varus is red side this game, he's able to shoot the arrows safely from his own red side jungle. And to try to break into his red side jungle is gonna pose difficult for Samsung Galaxy as long as Longzhu holds down that chokehold right there that KoJJ and Crown are standing on. Because that's the window where Fly can lock people up inside of the parallel convergence. Prey and Gorilla can do boatloads of damage with their poke and prevent Samsung from getting Barons. In the meantime, let Expression and let Fly just split push all day because Camille, while she does many things, she can't actually be two places at once.
Yeah, unfortunately, I suppose the teleport is there for that, to try to mimic that idea, but she's so fast too, running all the way down into, after getting the Skull Crab, down towards the bot lane in about 10 seconds. Jumping off walls. Every parent's worst nightmare.
Shoving in that lane, and everyone with a CS advantage except for Ruler. He's the only one behind in CS to his opponent. An interesting build, by the way. Essence Reaver into Phantom Dancer for Prey. Wasn't expecting that. So both Def and Prey have opted out of the current, usual build on the Korean ladder, which is Blade of the Ruin King first on Varus.
Ooh, Shockwave not going to pick that up. Crash just able to repel out of there and does survive. So no Shockwave for the immediate future for Samsung.
Oh, and
oh, here we go again.
Interesting. I don't actually know who wins. I'm going to assume that Jax wins with the Bilgewater Cutlass now. The only thing that has changed is the Fist for CuVee and the Bilgewater Cutlass for Jax.
Yeah, I feel like CuVee is almost, concerned as well. He's not 100% confident to take this fight. He's kind of just poking in, doesn't want to take the straight up fight because this is what happens. You get stunned, you get that third hit from Jax, and you begin to get chunked down in health. So CuVee has to be so careful.
Right, and you have to wonder how much experience CuVee has on this matchup. The fact that Longzhu let it through probably means that they have way more experience in this matchup than Samsung Galaxy has, especially because I was not expecting to see Jax today at all. But then when the camera pans over to the left-hand side of the map, we see that there's a constant struggle for that location around Wraiths, because that's the area that Samsung needs to control if they want to secure the Baron.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah, well. Yeah, just trying to be a little bit too forward there on getting the damage down onto Crash, who can just repel out of there as well. So kind of unfortunate, but with the blue buff, we'll get his ult in due time.
Oh, poor JJ has to be. Oh no. Oh. Okay.
Well, there's that burst damage. Curtain Call comes down, going to flash out of it. Fly. Going to slow down the rest of everybody else. Here comes Crash from behind. Huge amount of burst damage and flashing away to survive right now. Oh man, there you go. Whisper comes in and down he goes. CuVee now going to teleport in, going to jump on over the wall. Praying Gorilla, at least they do have the exhaust, but locked in now is Prey. Not much that he can do against that Camille. And here comes Fly actually teleporting in, but is going to actually fight onto CuVee here. CuVee's got to be careful. That expression trying to follow up.
That was the worst turn of events for Samsung Galaxy right there. Ruler found his ruler as he was able to snipe down Crash, and they're gonna get the Baron. This is all that Longzhu needed to not have happen. If they just sat back, didn't get greedy with the farm, let the waves come to them, because you look over at Samsung, well, hold that thought as we have a replay right now. And so you asked me earlier about Camille. Well, that about basically sums it up in a 5-second clip about why she's busted. And Prey wanted to pray as he went down there. Gorilla not as fortunate in the back line right there. And you can see that Fly went into the team not able to find anything, and then CuVee was able to retreat.
Yeah, at least Fly was able to ultimate out, but just Camille jumping all over the place, jumping over walls, bouncing off of walls. So much mobility on this champion, and does a crazy amount of damage so fast.
Titanic Hydra completed.
Yeah.
Dragon coming up in 30 seconds here, and at this point, there's no way for Longzhu to contest.
Oh, the burst damage onto Core JJ. His woes do continue in game number 2 on that Zyra. Crash now, though, is going to be locked down. Haru getting the knock up and securing that kill, so trading 1 for 1.
Still a worthwhile trade. They got a Baron off of one of the members of Samsung Galaxy.
Yeah, and you can see that Jax is really the only one that's kind of able to fight against him. But look at this, very confidently going on in there, but the support comes in. Gonna trade 1 for 1, it seems, as MF and Rek'Sai come to support their teammates.
And Ruler able to get the kill onto that turret. Gorilla making his way over to mid lane. And now the question becomes is, can Longzhu do what Samsung Galaxy could not? Baron buff almost halfway finished. They're definitely going to be able to get at least one more turret with this buff. I would be very surprised if they don't. Water Drake spawns for Samsung Galaxy.
So both teams here are going to have that Water Drake. Down it goes.
Interesting that they actually didn't delay another 40 seconds or so to guarantee that the Elder Drake would then spawn as the next dragon, because the position that they're in right now, they're almost guaranteed to get it. But first, let's take a look at that replay before that thought. And CuVee, disgustingly, even was tanking turret damage and still almost destroyed Expression if it wasn't for Gorilla coming in to aid him there.
Yeah.
But in the end, it was a 1-for-1 trade. Did not get the turret. But again, going back to the Dragon, had they just waited 40 seconds, they're in command of this game. They're easily going to remain in position for the foreseeable future of this game. And so it's bizarre to see that they don't intentionally delay to make sure the Elder spawns and then use that as a game-ending blow against Longzhu. Because they didn't, now Longzhu actually just got a lot of time.
Oh, man. You can see, once again, Jax is the only champion on this field that can fight 1v1 with the Camille. But Camille is like, okay, if you want to ultimate into me and try to force a fight, I can just bounce away. And that he does. Push is going down in the bot lane and the mid lane. The bot lane tier 2 turret does go down.
So now, basically what Samsung Galaxy needs to do is they need to use the curtain call at a correct time with Crown and Haru having proper synergy and CuVee present to bust into the base of Longzhu. If they don't do that, then when the Baron buff goes away, Prey can stall all day and then fly in Expression and run amok, and here we go.
Curtain Ball comes down, doesn't lock down any of the members, just helps with wave clear. Oh, a couple of last shots there do go on to Prey, is chunked down to about half health, as they do chunk down the turret to about half health.
Oh.
Now, Expression continuing to try to force that 1v1. Even in the extended trades, it seems like he's doing decently well against this Camille.
Seems so indeed. And
oh, you thought you were getting away. Well, no, you weren't. Here comes Expression, dodges the stun, and should be able to get this one. It's going to be super close, though, and down he does go. Camille able to take that kill.
And that is so crucial right now for Samsung Galaxy. Had CuVee just went down, Expression would have threatened top inhibitor. But because he didn't, now CuVee can ride a wave up into top and then join with his team while Expression is still removed from the map.
And here Camille comes through the jungle. Looks like wants to push that top wave continuously. And Crown and CoreJJ, as well as Ruler, 4 of them grouping up in mid lane to try to push it into the turret and perhaps rotate towards top.
Here's CuVee, and remember, he has Trinity Force and Titanic Hydra. He will shred that turret so fast.
Yeah, I mean, what is Elise really able to do, except a bit of poke damage? Can't really stop it. Down goes mid-turret as well, and the lockdown onto Prey, too. Here comes Curtain Call, if they can land it. A couple more hits. Oh, not quite, just barely. Prey is able to dodge it. And Haru at the same time was zoning out both Fly and Gorilla. And that inhibitor taking a ton of damage, will go down.
Does go down indeed, but top turret still remains alive. Little bit surprised to see that CuVee actually didn't just suicide to get the turret, given that it would have given them an opening against Longzhu. But we're taking another quick look at this replay, and this was all because of CuVee's ultimate timing, using it to go invulnerable, dodge the stun from Jax. If CuVee doesn't do that, he loses that trade. Jax threatens top inhibitor, and the siege in mid lane is forced to stop temporarily, and then that gives Longzhu too much breathing room.
So you can tell that CuVee is very well practiced on that Camille. And here he goes again. Gorilla is going to be caught out here, and there's going to be no escape for Misfortune. But they're really trying to force a fight up here in top in the meantime. Not able to make anything happen.
Camille now in bottom lane with Haru on that Rek'Sai, and they're going for another turret.
And they should be able to look at the team positioning of Longzhu. Nobody is even close. A fantastic call here by Samsung Galaxy, as everybody is just out of position, and there's no way they can save this inhibitor.
Yep, no way indeed. And CuVee might even just continue the assault onto the Nexus turret.
Yeah, it looks like they might come from behind, actually. And here comes Curtain Call, should be able to slow down Fly. 1, 2, a bit of damage as well. Oh, dodges that last one. And the Drake going down here in the middle of the map as well. Hotel coming in here. Crash is going to be burst down immediately. Prey trying to make it happen, but just gets erased off the map. There's really nothing they can do to stop the onslaught of Samsung Galaxy. Coming in here, gonna kill Nexus turret number 1. Second one is about to go down. Shockwave onto Expression. Will they be able to pick up some more kills? Fly. Dungeons will only keep you alive for so long. He goes down, and down will go the second Nexus turret, as well as that Nexus. And Samsung Galaxy is able to even it up 1-1.
Yep, and that was a perfect bounce back from game number 1.